There we go. Game 2 between these two teams is Druzhina versus Russia F. Russia F is up 1-0. And have to admit, I'm not sure whose home map this is, but in any case, the map is Lombardia for this one. So it's very, what should I say, cramped start. All of them 3 players spawn very closely together, so there's always a bit of discussion whose board is this, whose cows are those, etc, etc. But in exchange, you get a map that's very easily team wallable. Should have an easy time securing your whole side, so that trade is also easier to secure from one end to the other, whether it be a shorter one within your team walls or all the way towards the edge. So if the game goes on for long, it's absolutely going to be useful to get some trade running here. So, and there's also quite a bit of distance from one side to the other here. When the players are this close together, the traditional pocket flank positioning isn't that much of importance. But let's have a look at the sibs here of the players. We have, for Russia F here, we have Green with the Italians. So Italians, actually a pretty versatile sib. They have decent cavalry ending at cavalier, but with full blacksmith upgrades, or full blacksmith tech 3 for Italians. They go cheaper up to the next stage, so that makes the transitions a bit smoother. And their unique unit, the Genoese crossbowman, is basically a hard counter to all infantry, would slaughter, all cavalry, I mean, would slaughter paladins rather easily if you could get to the masses. Of course, mobility is an issue, but if you find yourself in a good spot, Genoese crossbowman could be seen into play here. And then we have their pocket. We have Goth's pocket here for Believe Me. Interesting. Goth's team bonus barracks work 20% faster. And in the Imperial Age, you get a unique tech that has your barracks working 100% faster again. So Goth's definitely streamlined as an infantry civ. We won't be seeing anything else than Huskarls and Halberdiers may be champions from Goths here. And finally, right-hand side for Russia F, we have Berbers. Also a good cavalry counter civ, in the sense that Berbers get cheaper knights and camels from the stable, 15% in the Castle Age, 20% in the Imperial Age. So you have an easy time massing units. Also, your unique unit, the Camel Archer, is a good counter to mounted units. So that's something that could kind of compensate for Berbers lacking their own paladins in the Imperial Age. They get heavy camel, they lack paladin, but they have the Camel Archer that could be seen into play, which also could more easily take advantage of hill bonuses around. Yeah, so flaring the team walls here, going to get those palisades up, and looks like they're going for some somewhat of an economical approach here, with not extending too far out here. Could it be lack of scouting? I would rather see towards the woodlines here. Would make some more sense to cover more terrain here for Believe Me, but well, the team walls are going up. They are securing the edges, and of course, same thing going down on Druzhina's side here. Let's have a look at Druzhina's side and scouting here as well. ARL on the left side flank with Chinese for this one. Chinese, very open tech tree. Their technologies are cheaper throughout the ages as well, a bit of a percentage, so you have an easier time taking into any technology switch you need. Very open tech tree. Chinese have camels, they get cavalier, they get armrest, they have more than decent siege as well, with rocketry, the unique tech, giving extra attacks to scorpions and Chukonu. And walls are stronger as well. I don't think that applies too much here, but you never know. And team bonus is nice as well. Plus 45 food on farms for all teammates. Now for the pocket, we have the Ant-Man with his favorite civ here. A civ that will be very nicely complemented with Chinese here, because Franks, well, they harvest berries faster in the Feudal Age, so there's moved Dark Age in the faster berry collection. But then their farm upgrades are kicking in instantly as well for Franks. So you get Horse Collar immediately in the Feudal Age, you get Heavy Blow immediately in the Castle Age, and combine that with the plus 45 food from Chinese. you're looking at some pretty beastly booming potential for Franks. Franks being the Ant-Man's favorite civ, I'm expecting him to go into huge masses of Paladin here and playing the cavalry mobility to the best of his ability here. But we have potentially 3 counter cavalry civs on the other side here, so Druzhina will be dependent upon dealing damage before they can mass those counters and get to those technologies. Finally, on the right hand side, we have Druzhina with Huns. So Huns, team bonus, again together with Franks. Pretty smart move to have that, because Huns team bonus is that stables work 20% faster. So if you combine that with Franks, who also have a unique technology in their castle to have the stables work 40% faster, we'd have paladins spewing out at almost Goth's barracks speed here in the end for the Franks. So looking forward to seeing that. I'm just gonna fast forward a slightly bit to see if we can catch up with the live game time here. Meanwhile, looking a bit at the team walls here, that is hopefully not a gap. I think it's just deceiving here that the cliff is taking up this tile, but it almost looks like an opening here. Uptimes slightly earlier for Italians here, maybe to be expected with that cheaper uptime. And yeah, just a little bit of scouting going on here. They're not really committing too much to outside scouting. Let's see though if this is actually open. Nope. See the feudal age is kicking in. I'd say Lombardia, the way they're walling off double palisades even, is just setting up for fast castle plays, almost a do-it-yourself arena or hideout here. You'd go for that fast castle age. I don't expect any feudal aggression from either side here. Blacksmith market for rush F over here. Blacksmith market is basically just fast castle for all of the players here. Blacksmith market all over the place, except for what's the Italian guy doing here? I mean, going to stone, going to gold. I don't see the. I must be blind, but I don't see the buildings for green here to go up at all. Lots of wood and food in the bank. What's going on there? There we go with the blacksmith and market. So that's going to set up green's castle age quite a bit actually. So a bit of an unfortunate event there to not drop those right after reaching the field age. Note that all the other players are up to the next stage here. Eco upgrades kicking in as well for everyone, and just a little bit of harassment on this side. Even stone walls going up for Italians here now. They're setting up for the long game here to really fully boom before they engage with their armies here. So that is a 28 pop fast castle here for green. Struggling with those buildings to get them up in time here. That's going heavily onto stone those. That should suggest some Genoese crossbows play here from the Italians. Not too uncommon to see fast castle unique unit plays on Lombardia. Well, first one to cast age here is likely going into boom mode here maybe. Town center on the woodline and stones here. And another one on wood and stone here. So it would be true canoes and castles for AR12 then. Unique unit as well. TCs for the Ant-Man as well on woodlines here. Everyone just going for the triple TC boom. JSP killed the latest one up on his team here, going at the 30 pop cast age here. Probably going to go into the same play as well. we're just dropping in town centers here and throttling it away. This was very forward though, but I guess that's the best wood and option for a town center here for Mr. Moan. They're not at risk of being forward castle drops here, obviously, but still very forward in terms of the walling here. TCs for JSPL as well, and population's just steadily increasing for our players here. Full boom mode, believe me, with 4 TCs now, so that's going to shift the villager counts in their favor here. And this JSP kill is going for the Cab Archer play. I love that, because with these exposed forward TCs here, for example, then there's some real easy damage potential for JSP kill here. Well, Check says, believe me, will boom for Grin. Ah. I see. Cav Watchers forward, just 4 of them, but sending a little bit of army forward immediately here. Missing Bodkin Arrow, missing the defense here is not too much to accomplish, but there'd certainly be an annoyance here on this very forward eco of Mr. Moan here. Cavalcher's numbers increasing. Grin isn't really producing anything at all here, has multiple DCs up, but is it actually 1 TC play here? 2 TCs for JSP kill here? Yes, I think it's only 2 TCs and 2 Rangers to get those Cavalcher's numbers boosting up. May actually break through here, and this will be a nightmare for Russia F to deal with. Okay, there's 1 stone wall here blocking the entrance. Or... Huh. So a steady trickle of Cavalchers. Look at the military numbers. JSP kill the only one with numbers. He should just run in and raid now if he can. It would potentially do so much damage. There's virtually no military whatsoever for Russia F on the field now. Defensive Siege Workshop, that's already good value from JSP kill to force up a defensive Siege Workshop here. That is a wood investment that will delay the farm's boom for Berbers a little bit. Looks like it's 5 TCs for Believe Me now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Really wants that villager lead and that boom going. Yes, same the previous game, I believe, on the arena. I think that was Believe Me as well in the pocket position. So obviously a solid boomer. Stonewall's up most places though, and still I'm a little bit. I guess there wasn't too easy to pass through here for JSP kill. Might look like a hole and wasn't after all. Oh, could be looking at some villager pickoffs here now for JSP kill. Look at this fire delay for the Cav Watchers. But that's 2 dead villagers for Mr. Moan right there. Already some value for JSP kill being the only player supporting any army here. We have 2 military for Mr. Moan as well. I'm not even sure what that is. Mangonel shouldn't be a problem for JSP kill. As long as he sees the Mangonel coming, could just run away and dodge or split the units. Meanwhile, we have the Ant-Man going to the Imperial Age with 84 or 85 population here now. He's on, I'm guessing he's still on 3 DCs, dropping the stables now, going to set up for the cavalry play. Oh, a little bit of greedy stonewalling here to the left side for 12, already beginning to think about that late game trade. I like that early attention there, that's going to be useful later on to get those walls up before the enemy will provide the army and deny any military, deny any walling from the opposing team here. So we see the Imperial Age on the way for Russia F here as well. I think JSP is the only one who's going to be lagging behind a little bit here because it's been committing to 2 TCs only, but in exchange, well, he's on 4 TCs now though, but started out with 2 TCs instead of 3, but in exchange being the only one with some significant army mats here. And still, all in all, with being later to multiple TCs, has a better boom going than Grin. Imperial Age is in for the Ant-Man. 4 TCs now producing villagers, going straight into stable units, armor, and cavalier here. 6. Actually, only 1 military for the Ant-Man for now. AR-12 producing some as well, going for the Chukonu here. Great. Great to have that ranged option against any enemy pikes or halberdiers here. I think Ant-Man signaling this area to have a little bit of army support from the HCP Guild just to make sure that this castle goes up. There is only 1 villager building it for now, a few more being committed here though. And soon we're going to see all players aside from JCP Kill in the Imperial Age here. But looking at the eco setup, Imperial Age not too far away from JCP Kill either. Here are the stone walls. I believe the markets are going up as well. So we're going to go for an early consistent gold economy here, even before the gold mines are depleted. Waiting for big 3v3 fights. Yes, as usually happens on Lombardia, these cramped areas. Is that Pavise for Grin here? Oh, I gotta check that. He was taking the unique unit. Foot archers and condottiero, plus 1 armor, plus 1 pierce armor. That's going to apply to the Genoese crossbowmen, of course, as well. And that's actually going to come in handy on Lombardia as well for Italians. Trade units cost 50% less. It makes it easier to switch into and trade for the Italian player. We have elite crossbowman. Elite Genoese crossbowmen being the likely unit of choice here for Mr. Grin, and provided that you can get to the appropriate numbers here, that's going to be a pickle for both cav archers and paladins here. But with only 88 villagers in the boom to support it, I'm not too sure though. Mr. Moan with the Burbers here going into heavy camel, so they're really going heavy on the cavalry counters here. Meaning that AR-12's fast-firing Chukonus could exploit all that. Should be beating Genoese crossbowmen handily, and also stands a good chance against camels. Sneaky side barracks from Believe Me here, because why not? And some flaring at random spots here. What's with the market placements here? I'm going for the short trade route here, maybe? Forward siege workshop now from AR-12. Chinese get siege rams, that could be a play here and soak some fire from the Genoese crossbowmen. Or you could go into other units like Onager, I guess, to deal with enemy archers, or rather Genoese crossbowmen. Steady flow of heavy cavalry archers now from JSP Kill, or is it cav archers? I'm not sure. And heavy camels from Mr. Wong, going to maybe contest the paladins and cav archers here. 50 military for Mr. Mole now. Really booming seems to have paid off for these players. Airtel and the Antman with the superior villager counts here though. They should be better set up for the late game economy here. See the stone walls going up. It's not going to be easy for either team to deny trade here. There's one scout of Mr. Mole here on this trade line, but that's about it. Nice of the walls of Airtel here to keep this gold safe as well. But if Mr. Moan is paying attention here, you'd see that both these could be 2 easy snipes for Mr. Moan in this area. Some Frank's Paladins will be sorely needed here. AR-12 with the Chukunu actually not doing too bad against the Huskarls, I have to say, elite Huskarls. Heal bonus, of course, but with a faster firing rate, at least doing a little bit better than your go-to archers against Huskarls here. Pretty even score in between the teams, at least overall score here, and trade units on the way for both teams as well. Here comes the golf spam though, combined with Genoese crossbowmen, and yeah, just a few barracks providing a steady trickle of units here. I think it's at least 4 castles for Grin now, so that should make it easier to get into these Genoese crossbowmen. AR-12 with 38 military now, Grin with slightly less, and believe me with 55, but that's just going to increase more and more with golf spam and more barracks going up. Look at the barracks to the side here as well, even a monastery to snag this close by relic, and forward seat workshop and outpost here to to probably break through the walls here and try and obstruct the trade of Druzhina here. Believe me is a 3k plus macro player. Yeah, seems like a very, very solid boom for Believe Me. Very healthy eco here, but look at all this production in the middle of everything as well. Is he making condotieros actually? As well? I think I saw a condotiero there. Goth's condotieros could be kind of fun actually. Not that you would need them with elite Huskarls, of course, but... But now let's think a little bit of how Druzhina can counter the Goth spam here. At some point you'll be needing to take into champions if you are Druzhina, simply to be able to take some good melee fights up against the not necessarily the Huskarls, but if the Goths go into Halberdiers, you want your own infantry units to deal with them. And I think that will need to be AR-12's job here with full barracks tech tree and champion for Chinese. If the Chukonu play won't work out, then AR-12 might switch into champions to help out and deal with the Goth spam here. Ballsy builders here, 1 villager building the castle, a few more being committed here. And trade route operative for Druzhina here, but at the same time Rushaev trying to break through here to obstruct that. Quite a few heavy camels in the mix here. They shouldn't be allowed to get too close to the cav archers here, but with the hill, the heavy cav archers should be in the numbers here and deal with the heavy camels quite nicely. Look at the flow of units from the Goths player here though. They get in the Imperial Age, Goths get an extra 10 population space as well. 60 military now, and should mean 137 villagers for Believe Me. Doesn't even care about the units lost here by now. Is pop capped and is in a good position to just keep spewing out more units. The barracks are probably with pretty consistent queuing here from different locations. Halberdiers, that's a nightmare for the Ant-Man, of course, with this never stopping flow here. What's player 2 doing? Dropping outposts, apparently. Outpost rushing. Providing heavy camels. Quite a scary mass of elite Genoese crossbowmen there as well from Green now. 62 military. The overall military count is in favor of Druzhina still though. Ant-Man with the fewest units here all in all. But look at all these Frank stables, probably with the respective units here. He could switch to janitors. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. This is a bad fight. It has to be a bad fight for Green. 38 against 53, and the Duke of New have faster firing rates here. What is this fight? I think Airtroll is very happy with this fight. He is outnumbering the enemy, bringing some heavy scorpions to the mix as well. That's a great addition against the Goths spam actually, to go into heavy scorpion here with rocketry probably from Chinese as well. Look at the extra attack here. I love that addition, and could also add siege transfer as long as the gold flow is steady. Did stop the Rams from breaking in here, and also now a defensive castle on the trade route. Good safe trade route for Druzhina here now, and huge losses for Green here, unfortunately, down to 31 military. Mr. Moan only with 16. Trade route less than efficient here for Russia F, but they're cleaning it up now. Here we have some more stables on the side for Mr. Moan, hoping to get some raids in here, I guess, to siege workshops to break through the walls and try to punish the trade and the economy from the other side instead. Blaze in the middle, and most of the fighting is going down. Airtel with the siege rams now as well. That's going to help to take out production potential here. You see the ranges are up for the Italians player here. So maybe Grin is thinking about the janitors here, because when you're with the Berbers ally, you could all make janitors to have a mobile skirmisher. You have a small pause, could be due to lag issues or just a tactical discussion, who knows. Looking good for Druzhina for this one though, with score lead now and a pretty beastly KD, I would say. All three Druzhina players with more than 200 kills and less than 200 deaths here, looking promising. Believe me, of course, losing a lot of units here, just flooding units with the Goths here. But with the heavy Scorpion with rocketry added for Air 12 here, it's not going to be as efficient with the Goth spam either. If Druzhina can somehow find choke points or make choke points as well, the heavy Scorpions will be all that more efficient against the Goths infantry pushing here. Treb push, going to push down the Italians' castles as well, means even more difficult for Grin to get into the appropriate Genoese crossbowmen numbers. Elite Skirmisher for Grin here, and Light Cab for Mr. Moan. It's still going to take a while to break through here though, and Pickle, very good awareness there, noticing the over chop here. Ant-Man sends a few units over, as does Pickle with the heavy cavalry archers with all the upgrades now. Could even take the hill here to take out the remaining camels of Mr. Moan here. Four villagers now going for a neutral gold here. But this mass of villagers almost would have me thinking he wants to go for a castle as well. It seems to be struggling for gold, believe me here. Of course, he's keeping very huge production going still, but now with Druzhina's army numbers here, I don't see it as an easy task for Russia F to pull back here. They're losing castles on the hills as well. Great pushing. And right-hand side seems to be breaking through the walls now. Lots of villagers going to drop a forward castle here from the Ant-Man. Frank's cheaper castles coming into play here. And although it doesn't directly hit the trade, I think this castle goes up and you'd have another point to fall back to, and you could have the castle help break down the walls and make a quick walling behind a lot more awkward. So all these camels just slaughtered by fully upgraded Franks, Paladins, and heavy cav archers mixed in here. All the players of Druzhina are prop cap. This is like a reverse of Arena here, although none of the Russia F's players are totally out of the game here. They are falling behind in population. Only 130 something for Mr. Moan here, and not going to be allowed to get any raids in here. And also Green struggling a little bit more here now at 150 population, losing castles, needing to rebuild for population space, and not getting to the critical mass of elite Genoese crossbowmen here. Yartel is fighting uphill here, but he has the trade income to support gold in the long run here. Just look at the gold income here. It looks more consistent. Is it only the Ant-Man trading actually? No, they're all trading. Is this Lombardia? Yes, it is. It's a mess. So let's see if Druzhina can break through the walls here. Score is indeed looking promising. 4,000 more now, and if they can get into the enemy trade, I don't see any easy way back for Russia F here. There's stone for multiple war castles here as well. Lombardia is just Black Forest with fewer trees. Yeah, so at least fewer choke points than Ogedai 1. Mr. Moan really struggling here now. Has it Eco been taking hits or what? Yeah, there's some raids, of course. There's raids in the trade. How did they get through here? I guess they found an opening here. Frank's Paladins in the trade and in the Eco. Mr. Moan now. Mr. Moan down to 116 pop here, and Ant-Man just spreading out, chasing the trade, going to kill as many trade cards as possible. Here come the heavy cav archers of JCP kill as well, and this has to be Druzhina's game. That's it. Druzhina with a solid showing on Lombardia here, playing the mobility of Franks and Hans here, cav archers and paladins in combination with Chinese siege and Shukonu here. Proved very efficient here against Russia F with all of the 3 actually cavalry counter sibs here, which I say is a good idea for Lombardia, whether you expect to be up against mass heavy cavalry. But unique units play worked better for Air 12 here, with the stronger sib against Italians here, I would say. GG, indeed. Air 12 MVP here with 19,000 score and pretty beastly KD, 530 to 29 to 289 here, and yeah, overall KD for Druzhina here is just dominating. Very well, good team play here. And of course, trade plays a role in it as well. And JCP Kill was actually not trading, but then again, he went for the cav archers as his main unit, so maybe it wasn't as dependent upon gold as Airtel and the Ant-Man with Paladins, Chukonu, and Siege here. Green with a very peculiar fast castlage. I think it forgot all about the blacksmith market reaching the feudal age. Even had the resources to click up, but was missing the buildings. So that cost him 2 minutes off the castlage time almost here. And lots of castles for many of the players here, but finally the raids of Ant-Man and JCP Kill in the trade is what decided the game. Look at the villager high for the Ant-Man though. Such a boomer.